Hi sisters. Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to remove your manicure using the warm rice bowl method. Okay, and we're going to do it in real time so that way you guys see how long it takes me to remove my manicure on at least one hand. I don't think I'll keep you guys hostage for both hands, but usually what you could do is have 2 rice bowls to get the manicure off at one single sitting. So hope you enjoy. Okay, so to do the rice bowl, the warm rice bowl method, what you're gonna need is your bowl of rice. As you can see, I have 2 here in case I wanted to do both hands simultaneously. My rice has already been warmed up. I warmed it for about a minute because it took me a little while to set up the camera and everything here. So, but usually I would say if you're just going to do your nails straight from popping it out of the microwave, maybe about start at 30 seconds and then you can work your way up to a warmer temp using like maybe 15-second increments. Okay, you don't want it to burn you. You're gonna need your acetone. This is just 100% acetone. I like to put coconut oil into my baggie just to keep my hands softened. I also put a drop of lemon essential oil. None of this is necessary, but this is just my preference because it smells so much better. You're gonna need your baggie. You can use a gallon Ziploc bag. I like to use little sandwich bags because it's smaller and I can use less acetone. And I like to throw a dryer sheet in there. Usually I use a dryer sheet that's already been used, but I didn't have any, so I have to use a new one, which is fine. So you're going to start off by just tossing your dryer sheet in your baggie. I try to form a little pocket down at the bottom so that I can stick my hand in here and use the dryer sheet to kind of rub off the manicure, the gel, okay? You don't need to use too much acetone. You just gotta kind of eyeball it. I pour just enough to get, you know, a little pool of acetone down at the bottom. I'm gonna try to stay in frame while I pour this in. And okay, so I don't know if you could see that. So I've just got, you know, some acetone down here at the bottom. That may even be a little much, but that's okay. Going to grab my oil here, and I usually just use about a teaspoon of oil. Okay, you don't even need that much. And I'll just use my dryer sheet to scoop that in there, and as I put my fingers in there, I'll work the oil around. And my drop of lemon oil. So let's see, it's 6:31 right now as I'm starting. I'm gonna grab the baggie and stick my hands down in between that dryer sheet and bury my fingers down into this rice, which isn't as warm as I'd like it to be because it took me so long to set this up, but it should still work. I'm gonna bury that in there. And as I get my fingers down in there, I'm just kind of getting that oil that was thrown in there, kind of melting that around, getting that into the acetone. And I'm using the dryer sheet and the rice pushed up against my fingers kind of as like my, I guess, buffing tools here to try to work that gel off. Now, I had clear on, so as you can see, I don't have any color, but this was just clear gel, and it was applied directly onto my nails. Usually I will use nail guards, but this particular time I wanted to show you how to get the gel off if you're not using nail guards, when you just apply the gel directly onto your nail. So I didn't put any nail guards on, I just did 2 dips of clear, and then this is a gel top coat that I cured for 30 seconds. So it should be pretty similar to just using your dip top coat. Obviously, if you have more layers, if you do 3 dips, 4 dips, it may take a little bit longer to get off. If you're using chunky glitters, you know, you're gonna have to work at that a little bit more. A trick that I used to do when I was putting the dip directly on my nails and I had chunky glitter was actually grab a toothbrush. Can you grab that toothbrush right there for me? I would use the toothbrush, the one right there in my caddy. Well, I would use a toothbrush and I'd stick the toothbrush in the bag and I would start brushing my nail gel off with the toothbrush. There's a toothbrush in that caddy. Do you see the toothbrush? Can you give it to me so I can show it? Sorry, I've got my helpers here trying to grab the toothbrush for me, but doesn't look like they can find it, so. But regardless, I would stick a toothbrush in here and I would brush my, oh, thank you. So I'd just grab any old toothbrush would do, and I'd stick that in here, and I would actually start working that on top of the nail to loosen up a lot of the chunky glitter, because those can be a headache. So I just continue to make sure that my hand is buried in the warm rice. You know, this is just keeping my acetone warm, so that way that can come off fairly easy. Usually this process should only take about 5 minutes or so if your rice is warm enough. I don't think my rice is warm enough, so I think it's going to take me a little bit longer. And you can always just check your progress so you can see it's starting to kind of peel up a little bit. Another thing that, so I'm just going to continue to work this off here. And again, you know, if you've got nothing going on and you're just sitting somewhere and you can stick both hands in at one time, that's probably even better. I've just got too much going on and I usually need my free hand, so I don't really have the opportunity to stick both in at one time. But this process can take some time, which is usually why I like to use nail guards, because when I use nail guards, removal for me is anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute if it's really not ready to come off. I'm just not patient enough to sit here with my hand in a bag trying to get gel off my fingertips. I just don't have that type of patience. That took about 16 minutes, way too long. So I had my son warm up a fresh bowl of rice here. And what I'm gonna do on this hand is use my drill to actually file off the top layer of this clear, and let's see how long that takes. So I'm just going to use my drill. And I'm going to use one of my other drill heads here. So this is totally optional. I mean, obviously, if you don't have a drill, then you just need to be able to invest the time into sitting and soaking. But I do suggest you invest in a drill. I'm going to start on my low setting here. And let's put the top on that. Try to keep that warm. And I'm just going to gently buff off this top layer of gel. Let's see if this helps with removal time at all. do be careful using a drill against your cuticles. You don't want to scratch up your cuticles. Okay, let's see how fast this goes. I'm gonna grab my rice. Ooh, that rice is really warm. Grab my baggie with that dryer sheet in there. Still have plenty of acetone. I'm gonna bury that in there. And 6:51 now. Let's see how quick we can get this off. Alright, so I can tell that I still have dip on my nails, but I'm actually going to see how much I've got on there. So it looks like it's just a tiny little layer that I could just scrape off. So this one took 7 minutes with drilling the gel top coat. And the rice was a lot warmer than my original run. This is probably part of the process that turns people off the most when they're doing their own dip. It's just very tedious and can be very long. Some women don't do the warm rice method. They just do the baggy method, which, you know, I don't know how long that takes, to be honest. I've used a heating pad. I've used the candle warmers, you know, where I plug in a candle warmer and I put acetone just straight in a bowl and put the bowl on top of the candle warmer, then put my hand in the baggie. There's a bunch of different methods that you can try. Obviously, you need to figure out what's going to work best for you in terms of your best use of your time. Okay, so now I think I'm just going to give them all one last quick scrape just to make sure that it's all off. Okay, so I'd say this hand took about 13 minutes with me drilling the gel top coat off. This one took me about 14 minutes. I did have to scrape both. Don't know if I even got everything off this one completely. I'm still gonna have to work on this hand. I can see a tiny little bit of gel or dip still on my nail. But as you can see, my hands don't look horrible. I think that's because of the coconut oil, and they smell great. So you really need to figure out what method is going to work best for you. I personally will vouch for the use of nail guards in terms of speeding up the removal process. This stuff takes a little bit longer on the front end, putting them on, but removal is a fraction of the time compared to dipping. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that it was helpful. If you have any particular videos that you would like to see me do, please drop a comment below, and I'll go ahead and try to do that. My next video, I'm going to show you how I repair a broken nail using tea bags. So stay tuned, and thank you.